Hi and welcome everyone to day 6. It's the 6th of December and we are in the 6th story of 25 stories I would tell my younger self. And if you've been following us in the last couple of days already, you know that every day we talk about a different story. We talk about especially the life lessons we took away from that. Not so much about the story itself, because if you want to read the story, you can read this in the book, of course. So it's really about the background behind it and what we take away. And today's story 6 is about a big money story. It's the story about how to save yourself to riches. It's the Monopoly story. It was a story that I learned when I was quite young. I played games with my sister. We played Monopoly. And you probably read that. And we played against imaginary third people. And it was a lot of fun. And what I learned from Monopoly, I learned at a very young age to extrapolate that into real life. And one of the key stories that I learned, or key lessons I learned very early on, is a lesson that I use more today than ever before. And you should use it as well. And it has this very sketchy line, save yourself to riches. And I learned that from a powerful book called The Richest Man in Babylon. So if you haven't read that book, read it, The Richest Man in Babylon. He basically shares about how from all his income, he saves away 10% of what he makes. So he calls it every gold you earn, put away 1 piece for every 10 pieces. So that's 10%. Now, when I learned this the first time, it basically means, let's say you earn 2,000 euros, $2,000 every month. You would put away $200 or 200 euros. Now, when I heard this the first time, it's like, wow, I cannot put away 10% of my income. How am I going to survive, right? And that's a key answer for many people. How am I going to survive on that? Because I need all my money. Well, what you need to understand is that we are designed on using every resource that we have. So if we have 2,000 euro resource, then we're going to use 2,000 euros. If we have 2,200 euros or dollars, we're going to use that. So have you ever wondered when you had a pay raise in your job, how you were like, oh my gosh, I had a pay raise and now I'm using again all my money. How did I survive on a lower pay 2-3 months ago, 2 years ago? Well, the trick about it is all up here. Many people, they earn and they spend all. So the trick is on the first of the month. So when you get your pay, you immediately put at least 10% away and you put this on a separate savings account. Look for different savings accounts. For example, in Europe, I use a Dutch online bank called Money. And it's a really great bank. I get over 1% savings. I mean, that's really incredible in today's environment. In the US, I'm sure you also have special online deals. In Hong Kong, you can do maybe a time deposit or something. If you want to use something that is basically something that doesn't let you access that money too quickly, because you really want to add it on. And so you take away 10% from any income you do, and you have to do it at the very beginning of the month. If you don't, I guarantee you're going to spend your full amount of money. That was one of the key things I learned. And so I started this probably when I was around 10, maybe around 11 years old. And well, it allowed me 5 years later when I had to go to the US. And when I moved to the US at the age of 16, I needed a lot of money. So how did I pay for all my flights, my travel? Of course, my parents did support me, but I needed a lot of money for myself. And I had saved up over 10,000 euros in just 5 years. Now, this doesn't sound a lot to some of you, but you need to understand I was an 11, 12-year-old kid who didn't have a proper income. Now, just imagine this would mean that today someone making, for example, 2,000 euros a month would save 200 euros a month. He puts this aside. And after a year, you have around 2,500 euros plus maybe a little bit of interest. Now, you can use this money, and we're going to talk about this in later stories when you follow us along the chain. You can use this money for scalable income streams, to invest it into certain things. For example, a really great and quite a nice thing to do is using peer-to-peer lending platforms where you get 10, 15, 20% of interest on that money. Or for those of you a bit more familiar with stocks or some other businesses, well, you can generate very nice incomes from that. Most people just never have even the smallest amount of capital to start because they don't follow that key principle rule. Save away at least 10% of your income. And the more you can put away, I mean, today, I'm trying to put away 50% of my income. 50%. I mean, sometimes it doesn't come easy, and trust me, what happens is sometimes I cannot go to Starbucks for a coffee. And I have many friends, I'm not joking, who laugh at me and say like, Julian, why are you telling me you don't have enough money for that? You're making so much money. Why don't you have the money? I said, because in my mind, in my accounting, I have put away half of my money on the day one. So if I know, just an example, let's say I know I'm making $30,000 in a month. Well, on day one, I already put away $15,000. And that goes into something that I invest for future things. I invest into apartments, I buy stocks and other investment streams that generate income for me. And so this is really, really a key principle. Now, you don't have to do 50%. I just want to raise the bar for you, because if you're doing 10% already, try 11, try 12, try 13, try 15. Grow up, because you want to use that money to generate income streams. So that's the idea. How to save to riches is simply by using that income and generating it back. Well, it doesn't come easy at the very beginning. I hope you're getting the gist of it. And if you start and try and use it, then you're definitely going to get extremely successful in that. So with this, I hope you get a lot of value out of this. Use the 10% saving rule. It's going to change your financial life. And well, if you like more, follow us, follow me on YouTube. Head over to Facebook, connect with me there. We have a very great newsletter once a day where you can get the latest update from that. For those of you that celebrate Happy Nikolaus, Germany, Switzerland, Austria, all the other countries where you celebrate that, well, and Happy Nikolaus, I hope you get a lot of nice presents and no Krampus who does a beating. And other than that, talk to you guys tomorrow for story 7. Have a wonderful day, wonderful Sunday. Cheers, everyone.